Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right, this is going to be a mildly long introduction. I'm guessing it'll be about 4 minutes. So if you want to skip it, the reading will probably start about the 4-minute mark. But it's good to hear the background. This is a reading on the Mar-a-Lago documents case, Trump employee number 5, otherwise known as Brian Butler. He's sort of gone public with the press about what he knows about the case and what he answered to the grand jury and told Jack Smith. And the reason why he did that was he felt that the American public needed to know more of the story of the Mar-a-Lago documents case, and that it is not a witch hunt. Okay, so who's Brian Butler? He's somebody who got hired in 2002 at Mar-a-Lago, and he's been an employee there. He was an employee there for 20 years and left in 2022. He acknowledged he was very close friends with Oscar de Oliveira. This is one of the and Walt Nada, but he's friends with Oscar de Oliveira. They're very close friends for a very long time, and have known each other over 10 years. Type of thing, and close friends at that point. They go golfing together, they sing karaoke together, they live close to each other in a neighborhood and go on nightly walks, or they go walking in the evening times, that type of thing. They're friends, co-workers and friends. They noticed that when the whole documents thing was coming on, Butler noticed that a lot of his co-workers were getting interviewed and knew eventually at some point he would get interviewed. When he did get interviewed, he did not take a Trump lawyer. He got his own lawyer. First clue that he's probably on the up and up. Okay, what things has he mentioned? He said that he unknowingly helped Nada deliver boxes of classified information from Mar-a-Lago to Donald Trump's plane in June 2022, which was the same day that Trump and his attorney were meeting with the Justice Department at Mar-a-Lago about classified documents. So right there, giant red flag. They're moving boxes when the DOJ is there asking about boxes. He mentioned that it was unusual because Nada had asked if he could borrow an Escalade from the car service that Butler ran to and from Mar-a-Lago. And that Trump and his family, Butler knew Trump and his family were going to fly to New Jersey that day for the summer. And normally Butler and the valets at his company handled all the luggage and stuff like that. But it was an unusual request, and the way Nada asked it was in a very guarded manner. But he gave him the car, and when they arrived at the airport, Butler was saying he was heading to the airport, and Nada followed him. They loaded up the family luggage, and then he helped Nada unload the Escalade of all these white banker boxes. So there's your first clue. And then there were parts where Nada was coming back to Mar-a-Lago, and it was supposed to be secret because Nada wanted to know more about security camera tapes and how they're stored and stuff like that. Just kind of shady stuff along those lines. What other things do we have in here? Here's the thing about the nightly walks. I'll have a link in the description. You can find about that. Butler was there when de Oliveira received a phone call from Trump or Trump's people saying that Trump had secured him a lawyer for this criminal case. And how happy de Oliveira was that he wasn't have to spending his own money on it. Oh, he's also, employee number 5 here, was also the one that related the story about the Australian billionaire being told the nuclear sub-secrets, because he was the one in the vehicle driving this guy back to the airport, and the Australian dude's calling another person in the Australian government about what he had just heard about American subs. So what Brian Butler saw was that Mar-a-Lago, after Trump got elected, became a very transactional place. And he didn't like it, and in 2022 he quit. It wasn't worth it anymore. And it looks like, good timing on his part with that regard. And he's been cooperative with the FBI whereas De Oliveira was not. So their paths have diverged, and the article goes on to say that De Oliveira no longer goes on evening walks, and the two of them don't talk to each other anymore. Butler, he feels bad because, this is like his best friend, and he feels bad that what he's telling the FBI could get his best friend in trouble. But here's the thing: if his best friend had told the FBI the truth too, their stories would have aligned, and his best friend wouldn't be in the trouble that he's in now. He'd be in a little bit of trouble because, he was working at getting rid of, destroying evidence and stuff like that, but nothing to the tune that he's going to be in now with this. Okay, so 5+ minutes, almost 6 minutes into this, let's go ahead and take a look at the energy around Brian Butler and him sharing his story with the public so that we have a better idea of what was going on at Mar-a-Lago. And the Department of Justice, he was a very valuable witness for them because he's been there for 20 years. And so he's got all the history. He could tell you what the place was like before, what the changes were, things that were done differently, things that were unusual. A great font. He provides the tribal knowledge that you wouldn't have otherwise. Okay, so what can we tell you about Brian Butler? Come on down. Queen of Wands. He's a queen. No, he's not a queen. Queen of Wands is, looking forward, taking action, looking into the future and seeing what's coming down the road and taking appropriate actions with it. Again, I think he's taking action. He's trying to help people understand what happened at Mar-a-Lago and that it's not a witch hunt. There you go. Because witch hunt, woman, black cat. The only thing that's missing from her sticker is the broom parts on it. He's trying to tell people it's not a witch hunt. Plain and simple. Don't you love a good Jack Smith reading and Jack Smith shows up in the middle of it? Jack Smith, King of Swords. What's cross with that? He's doing the public relation work that Jack Smith really can't do. I'm not saying Jack Smith is asking him to do that. He might be doing it out of his own volition, but he knows that what Jack Smith is investigating, and he knows stuff, shady stuff that was going on at Mar-a-Lago that didn't make any sense at the time. But when the indictments came out and stuff like that, he saw the puzzle pieces coming together. And so he sees the picture. He knows what happened because he was there. For all the deniers out there saying, oh, it's a witch hunt, this dude was there. He saw what was happening. He didn't understand it at the time because he didn't have all the information, the context that he needed. But now, once given the context, given the puzzle pieces, he's got it figured out. And now he's trying to do something to help other people figure it out. This is another person who's interested in America maintaining a democracy. He probably also recognizes that Trump's authoritarian stance that he's taken is a desperate man ready and willing to do desperate things to avoid accountability for his actions. He understands that. And he doesn't want America to go down that path. Again, I'm going to have J. Kell and Mrs. Harley Mama yelling at me, why do I hate Trump so much? I don't. I'm just reading the cards, and I'm reporting on facts. Everything I've said is factual. You can look it up. I provide links in all my videos. Go look at them. Go read them. You won't find them on Fox News. Trust me. They don't want to report on this because they're in bed with Trump and with Putin, and Fox News learned their lesson when they called Arizona for Biden. People were leaving Fox News left, right, and center to go to Newsmax and OAN because Fox wasn't giving them the smack that they needed to keep their high going. Fox learned real quick as they started losing viewers and advertising dollars that they better get back in line with the fake election story or else they were going to become irrelevant news. That's unfortunate because I don't think they would have become irrelevant, but they're perpetuating propaganda now. Where was I? In the past, Knight of Pentacles. This is Butler providing valuable information to Jack Smith. And he's not lying. He doesn't have he's not carrying a grudge or anything along those lines. He was asked questions. He provided answers. He's not going to get in trouble for what was going on. I'm sure he feels bad that he helped load those banker boxes, but he didn't know. It's just better to say you didn't know. It's understandable. Current situation, Nine of Swords. Coming out, he knows he's taking risks, because guess what happens when you speak out against Trump? His cult comes after you. I'm sure the death threats, the minute his name got out there, the death threats started in earnest. Because clearly, that is an appropriate use of the word clearly, because clearly, like David here, the tarot reader, he clearly hates Trump. Hates him with a passion. Hates him more than anything else in the world. Will vilify Trump, lie about him for everything. Never mind that this guy had a working relationship with Trump and working with Mar-a-Lago and stuff like that. No, don't worry about that. He's clearly a rhino and just suffering from Trump derangement syndrome and deserves to be harassed within an inch of his life. And if you can move past that inch of that life, well, you'd be a hero in the MAGA circles. He's stressing out because he really does not want people to think that this is a witch hunt. And he's like, what can I do? So he's going forward with his story. And he realizes that we're running out of time. He's got to get his story out there. People need to understand what's going on. Because Judge Eileen Cannon's going to make darn sure that not only does this case... I'm playing with my obsidian point here. Move it over here. Little nervous thing. Not only does he realize that she's planning on not having this case happen before the election, but she's blocking other cases like the January 6th case and the Georgia RICO case as best she can with not setting court dates for the Mar-a-Lago documents case. So he's getting the word out. And we're running out of time. Queen of Cups is the lesson to be learned. He's kept his mouth shut, but he's now sharing. And unfortunately, he's willing to take the consequences that go with that. Outcome is the Emperor. He'll probably get some protection, some witness protection from the government. But, we're past that. The grand jury has already ruled on this. I'm sure there's video depositions up the wazoo. He's a key witness. I think I would put it this way. He's a key witness in all of this. He's a key witness because, and they don't necessarily need him for that, because in the end of the day, Trump had documents he was not supposed to have. Period. Easy case. This is an easy peasy case to solve. But what it does is it addresses intent. As much as a couple of the viewers here will come up with any excuse for Donald Trump, you'll have to really twist yourself into a pretzel. And I'm looking at you, J. Cal, with this. You will really have to twist yourself into a pretzel to explain why the day that Donald Trump is meeting up with the Justice Department about classified documents at Mar-a-Lago, that Waltine Nada, Trump's body man, is secretly moving banker boxes out of Mar-a-Lago into a plane, and we know that the classified documents were in bankers' boxes. The only thing you can say is, well, maybe those banker boxes didn't have classified information in it. To which I would say, how freaking naive are you going to be? If it didn't have secret documents, why are you moving it right then and there? Why haven't they been moved before? What a coincidence that they're going to Bedminster and he wants to take these banker boxes with him. Yeah, there's a possibility, but let's be real and assign probabilities to things. Do you really believe that? Would you really believe that? I mean, does that seem logical? You drank some Kool-Aid, you're in a cult. You don't ever hold the guy accountable. It's just as bad as those parents who lied for their kids when they stole stuff. And I've known a couple instances of that growing up. Been a part of 2 of them. Some kid had stolen my sister's bicycle. And we found the bike. And the mom, the little girl riding it didn't steal it. Her older brother did. And the older brother said, he got it from a friend, but he couldn't name the friend or when he got it or how much he paid for it and all that stuff. Another time was another kid in high school. We were on an AAU swim team, and we had distinct sweat outfits. They were maroon. We went to a school where the school colors are blue and white. And these are special ordered sweats that you would have. They were Adidas sweats. Maroon with triple white stripes going down the side with maroon bars in between. And one of our friends on the swim team had his sweat bottoms stolen out of his gym locker. Then later on, there's some kid walking around with the sweat bottoms on. And we got called into the principal's office because this swim team member called the other kid out, and they went to the principal's office. And I happened to be wearing the jacket for our swim team, which matched the sweat bottoms. So it's like, yeah, you can see these 2 are a match. You can see why we're saying that these don't belong to him. And these were not sweats that you could buy in stores. And the mom came in, swore up and down that they bought those sweat bottoms in Mexico for her son. They made him take off the sweat bottoms in private and gave him some other pants to wear. My friend's name was stitched on the inside, and he told the vice principal that my name's stitched on the inside. So they had him take the pants off, and what do you know? There's his name stitched on the inside. Done. Some people will just lie for their kids. Just like Trump supporters will lie and make up excuses for Trump. Seen it twice. Call it like it is. Mr. Butler, are you going to be okay? Or how key is his testimony? Let's ask about that. How key is Mr. Butler's testimony going to be in this documents case? How key will Mr. Butler's testimony be in this documents case? Yikes. These cards are wanting to come out here. Let's throw a couple of clarifiers. 4 of coins, King of coins, and what's the top one? Knight of Wands. Trump. Okay, yeah. Trump pays for lawyers to keep people's information together. So his information is valuable because he's not under a Trump-paid lawyer to keep things, so he can keep the case going and keeping secrets and information down. Let's see what. Crossing 3 of coins. Yeah, and he provides background information on. And the only reason I've got 3 cards in here is because some were falling out. And he provides the background information as to what was going on, working with Jack Smith. He's got integrity. He's not going to get himself in trouble for Donald Trump. He wants people to understand what happened. He cares about America. He loves America, and he wants America to make the right choice. He's passionate about that. He's going forward as a reasonable person who was there, bringing his passion, trying to help the United States be a better place. It won't matter. The drunken hillbilly brawl is the result. His testimony will cause a media kerfuffle. What's underneath it? Oh. Underneath it is the coins. Yeah, his testimony in this case is actually going to be quite valuable. It will be valuable. He's providing information, and he's providing information, again, with integrity and proper intent. It's going to cause a kerfuffle, but everything with Trump involves a kerfuffle. That's a fancy word for a big dust-up, fighting. All right, I don't think there's anything else I want to throw in this guy. I think that is plenty for this reading. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for your likes, your shares, your comments, everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. To folks just discovering this channel recently, and there's been a lot of you, thank you so very much for joining us. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.